Hey friends, writing tip for today. There are no good writers, only good rewriters. This was shared with me by a journalism professor when I was in college. It goes along with the quote I heard recently: creation gets all the glory, even if maintenance takes all the effing time. I've spoken a lot about the time we need to spend not writing, the lead up, the reflection, the outlining, the storyboarding. But what about the writing part? Well, that is where this first quote comes into its own. There are only good rewriters, because so much of writing is rewriting. Rewriting is what separates the hobbyist from the professional. And so you may ask, what does my process of writing or rewriting and rewriting and rewriting some more look like? Well, there's all sorts of head fakery I do with myself. First, I write the outline and I storyboard. And my own quirk is I do this part on the floor. I like being able to spread out the 3x5 cards I storyboard on, but also there's something freeing about being on the floor. Maybe it's because when I was little I played on the floor as a kid, but the key is I'm not at a desk. I'm connecting with some childlike ego state, and that's playful. It allows me to let my creativity run unconstrained. When storyboarding and outlining are done, I write my first draft in longhand. I do this at a desk, and it's the equivalent of painting or drawing. Or the equivalent in painting and drawing would be that this is like my first sketch. It reminds me that things can still be messy and I can change them drastically if I need to. When I finally sit down to transcribe the handwritten pieces into the computer, I do another fake out with myself and I say to myself, hey Ted, you're just transcribing. This is easy. That's partly true, but I'm definitely rewriting, reshaping as I go. I just don't admit that to myself. It takes the pressure off and keeps the perfectionist in me out of the room. I'm always relieved once I have typed up the story and have it backed up on the computer and in the cloud, because then I know if my house burns down, I don't have to start it all over. Then I have a long series of rewrites. It's not unusual for me to have as many as 10 versions of a book as I do rewrites and editing passes before I finally show it to my team of editors. On the one hand, this process gets easier as the story gets locked down. On the other, it becomes more and more tedious as it's less about story and more about grammar and punctuation.